We begin our practice on our back today. We're going to walk our feet a little wider and drop our knees together. Notice if you feel any release of tension through your lower back in this position as we bring our attention to our breath. Inhaling, noticing our belly rise, filling up our lungs, our throat. Exhaling, letting all the air out of the body. Beginning to bring ourselves into the present moment, noticing how our body feels today, listening to our body with each pose, making modifications as we need to. We'll go ahead and separate the knees, open the arms out wide to the side as we move into windshield wipers, rocking from one edge of the foot to the other. Loosening up the low back, massaging our glutes. The next time the knees are centered, we'll hug the knees into our chest, gently rocking side to side. And then gently engaging the core, we'll start to draw circles with our knees in one direction. And then we'll reverse 3 more circles here. And then we'll hug the knees back into our chest, keeping the right knee in, sliding the left leg straight. If this is too much, you can bend the left knee instead. Return to your breath, let your shoulders relax. And then releasing the right knee, drawing the left knee in. We can either keep the right knee bent as we place the right foot to the floor or slide the right leg straight. Returning to the breath, noticing how our hips feel today. Then releasing the right knee. We'll set the feet hip distance, shoulder blades down the back. We'll start to flow through bridge, slowly rising up, one vertebrae at a time, slowly lowering down. We're going to be focusing on strengthening our back in our practice today. And this is the first exercise that is beginning to engage those back muscles, our glutes also. Keep your weight even in both legs. Only lifting as high as it feels comfortable for your low back. As you get warmer, you may be able to rise up a little higher. And the next time you're up, we're going to stay up. You'll draw the shoulders down the back a little more. Make sure you've got length through the neck. And then you can maybe walk your feet in a little closer, see how that feels. Continuing to focus on your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And as you take your next exhale, we'll slowly lower all the way down to the floor. You can return to knees to chest or take a few windshield wipers. But we're going to go ahead and turn all the way over and come on to all fours, lining knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Let's go ahead and begin to move into cat and cow, exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling, lifting our chest, lifting our tail. Warming up our spine for the work we're about to do. We're going to be in this kneeling position for a few poses, taking several rests in child's pose. But if your knees are already feeling tender, you may want to grab a rolled up blanket or towel, place them under the knees for extra support. We'll go ahead and lower to child's pose. You can keep the legs as they are or bring your knees a little bit wider. Continuing to breathe, letting go of any tension in the upper back. We'll return to all fours and make our way to a kneeling plank. We're going to lower into Sphinx position. So elbows are under the shoulders as we come onto our forearms. Our shoulder blades draw down the back. Our legs are hip distance. Adding a knee bend, bend the right knee with the foot flexed. And then we'll alternate bending the left. Adding our breath here, you can inhale and exhale with each movement. Keep the shoulder blades back and down. Draw your navel center in, naturally lengthening the lower back. Think long neck. And if the neck is feeling good today, we're going to pause with the right knee bent. Maybe look to peek at the right foot, then look to the other direction. You can hold, really just seeing what feels good for you here. We want to make sure the neck is nice and long if we are choosing to turn the head. And then relaxing the left leg, we're going to lower down, bring our hands underneath our shoulders, peel our chest off the floor to baby cobra. You can look more towards the floor than I am here in this video. I'm really bending the neck here as I come up, and we want to really think of our neck as an extension of our spine. So I'm going to make note of that for myself, maybe keeping the gaze a little more towards the floor. If it's comfortable to breathe with each movement, we can inhale up and exhale lower. And then let's press all the way up and back to child's pose. Take a rest here. We're going to return to all fours, staying here, finding our neutral spine. And then we're going to flex the right foot, press the right heel towards the ceiling, and look straight ahead. And then exhale, round our spine, bring our knee towards our nose for sunbird flow. We've got the cat and cow movement of our spine, but we're adding the leg here. Strengthening the glutes by adding the leg work. You can think of giving them a little squeeze as you press the heel towards the sky. We're going to go ahead and take that over to the other side, flexing the left foot, press through the heel as you lift the chest, scoop in through the core as you bring the elbow and knee towards each other. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll return to all fours, send the right leg back straight with the foot flex, left arm long, thumb towards the ceiling for spinal balance. Soften into your balance by not locking the elbow on your supporting arm. Allow yourself to breathe, steady your gaze. Notice the tiny movements that happen when we're balancing. If you want to play with this, go ahead and bend your right knee. And then reach your left hand towards your right ankle. This is all I've got, guys. You could grab that ankle if it's available to you. We are warming up though, so we're gonna have some more opportunities to do that later on. Let's take spinal balance over to the other side. Lengthening through the limbs, strong core. Go ahead and bend the left knee. If you bent the right knee on the other side, reach the right hand towards the right foot, lift the chest. You're going to feel the back muscles firing. Don't hold your breath. Let the breath flow. Returning to spinal balance with the limbs straight and then back to all fours. Let's take another rest in child's pose. If you'd like, you can bring the arms down by your side for this child's pose. Circle your wrists. And walking the hands back out, adding a side bend, we'll walk our hands over to the right. And then walking our hands over to the left. We'll walk our hands back center, return to all fours, walk our way out to a kneeling plank. Draw the shoulders back and down and lower all the way down to the mat, bringing our arms down by our side. We're going to play with versions of locust pose. So first, just lifting our top half. So very similar to cobra, but we don't have the support of our arms. Our gaze is staying towards the floor. And the chest is barely lifting off the mat, but you're feeling the back fire. Let's try the other half of locust, lifting either both legs. Legs are straight, drawing close together, or play with lifting one at a time. When you do lift the legs, you are tightening muscles that can pull in the lower back. So listen to how you feel. Take it easy here. If you're feeling warm and ready, you can add lifting the upper body and the lower body at the same time, lengthening through the toes, through the tips of the fingers, out through the crown of the head. Breathing, we can inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. You can reverse the inhale and exhale if it's too uncomfortable to breathe in on your way up. Trying to breathe through the nose if possible. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll press ourselves up and back to child's pose. Take your time. You can find that neutral spine first and then slowly lower. We'll return to all fours. We're going to walk our way out for one more move on our belly. So come back onto your belly, draw your arms down by your side. And we're going to bend our right knee, foot flexed, and then play with lifting the chest and just reaching the fingertips towards the bent knee. Release the leg. See if we can bend the other leg. How does that feel? Keeping the long neck. If we're going strong, go ahead and bend both knees. This is trying to be bow pose. You can, if possible, reach for the ankles, but don't force. Listen to your body today. Look, I can even teach yoga and I can't do bow pose, or not today or not yet, one of those. We'll come back to all fours and lower into child's pose. We're going to come back to all fours. And we're going to end up making our way to standing. I'm going to take you there by setting us up through downward facing dog. We'll lift the hips up and back. If you're here, pedal the heels, wag your tail, move in any way that feels good. Spread your fingers wide, keeping that weight spread throughout the hand and not just in the heel of our hand. Navel center is drawn in, our neck is relaxed. Then stepping our feet to our hands to forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need, and then lengthen the legs to find a stretch. We'll go ahead and then bend the knees very deeply, sweep the arms out to the side, strong core as we make our way to mountain, hands at heart center. Inhaling, we'll sweep the arms up and exhaling to heart center. Continuing to move with our breath. We're going to start to warm the shoulders up. We're going to play with dancer pose in a few moments. Go ahead and open through the chest and upper back. Elbows bent, inhaling, feeling a stretch across the chest and then a stretch through the upper back. Start to make big circles backwards, one arm at a time. You really can't mess this up. Listen to your body and move in a range of motion that feels okay today. We'll reverse the direction of our circles. When we get to playing with Dancer, you'll see why I want to make sure these shoulders are nice and warm. Breathe with the movement that you're choosing to do here to warm up the shoulders. Now we're going to interlace our fingers, draw our shoulders back and down, opening up through the chest. You can also use your strap here instead of interlacing the fingers. We'll go ahead and bend the knees, hinging forward from our hips, let our belly find our thighs, and then play with bringing the knuckles towards the ceiling. Let the head rest heavy. One more inhale here, we'll release the arms. And then we'll make our way tall to mountain and begin to flow mountain and chair pose. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, bending the knees. You don't have to take this very deep if the knees aren't up for it today. Listen to your body. Strengthening through our hips and through our thighs. And pausing here in mountain pose, we'll shift our weight from our heels to the balls of our feet. Challenging our balance here, or you can go ahead and rise all the way up to the balls of your feet. You can rise straight up or walk forward like I was. Inhaling, we'll sweep the arms up. We're still on the balls of our feet, finding palm tree pose. And exhaling, lower the heels, lower the hands to heart center. We're going to begin to play with our balance, moving slowly into dancer pose. First, we're just going to bring the arms down by our side and bend the right knee and see how we feel balancing on one leg. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing from different angles. Let's go ahead and see if we can balance on the other leg. Continue to breathe, relax your jaw. And then if you're feeling stable there, you can see what it feels just to reach for your right ankle. I'm grabbing my right ankle on the outside. You'll notice a different grip when we get to full dancer. See how that feels. Notice how your back feels. You're also getting a stretch through the quads. Our hip flexors and shoulders and chest tend to be tight on many Western people, so don't give yourself a hard time if these feel really challenging. They look simple, but they're not. We're gonna grab the inside of the right ankle if we're ready to move into our dancer and then start to tilt forward. So dancer is a back bend. You're lifting the chest and you're pressing your ankle into your hand and your hand into your ankle. You're thinking of your leg being directly behind you. You're wobbling. There's a lot going on. You can try it just for a moment and then come on over to the left side, or you can pause this video and spend more time with each pose. You can keep the hand to your hip or you can sweep the arm up. This felt like a deep back bend, but looking at the video, it doesn't look anything like what it felt like. But that's it with yoga. It's about how your body feels and creating that awareness. We're gonna go ahead and take a forward fold, bend the knees a lot to ragdoll, cradle your arms, gently sway side to side. Place our hands to the floor. You can go ahead and lower to child's pose or pause here with me in another downward facing dog. Bend the knees a lot, lengthen the spine, and then begin pressing your heels to the floor, lifting your tailbone towards the sky. And then we'll all meet in child's pose. You can leave the arms out in front or bring them down by your side. Just take a moment to connect with your breath. And we'll go ahead and bring ourselves up seated, untuck our feet, bring our legs out in front, and bringing some balance to all the work we've done for our back. We're going to enjoy some forward folds. You can bend the knees in these forward folds to make them more comfortable, or take the legs straight. You can make your V as wide as you'd like. Just take your time here, breathe. With every exhale, you may feel that you're going a little deeper into your stretch, but without force, just letting the breath naturally carry us into a deeper stretch. We'll begin to walk our hands back in, drawing the legs together. You can fold over the legs here or take your right foot to the inside of your left thigh and then walk your hands towards the left foot. Let your head drop heavy. Return to your deep breath. And we'll come back tall and take that over to the other side, bringing the left foot to the inside of the right thigh, and then walking our hands towards our right foot. Then we'll come back tall. We'll scoot forward to make room to lower onto our back, meeting with knees to chest. We'll take a figure 4 stretch, bringing our right ankle in front of the left knee. An option to draw the left knee into our chest. This is a great daily stretch to release tension in the low back. Continue your deep breathing. And on the next exhale, we'll release, uncross, take the left ankle in front of the right knee. And then option to bring the right knee into the chest. Noticing the differences between each side. Then releasing, uncrossing, dropping the knees out to the side to butterfly, soles of the feet together, shoulder blades down the back. Breathing into this open pose. And we'll draw the knees together, bring our arms out to a T, stack the knees over our hips, and drop our knees over to the left. Option to turn our head to the right. Breathing into this spinal twist. On your next exhale, we'll look up, bring the knees up and over to the other side. And option to turn the head over to the left. Breathing, noticing how our twist feels in this direction. On our next exhale, we'll bring the knees back center, set the feet to the mat. You can take the position we had at the beginning of class with the knees together, or take the legs out straight. As we rest, notice if we're holding any tension in the body. With every exhale, allow yourself to sink a little deeper into the support of the ground beneath you as we hold this space in a moment of quiet and peace. We'll wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes, bring our awareness back into the room. We can stretch out from head to toe, meeting with knees to chest, rocking side to side, and then rocking all the way over to bring ourselves up seated and find a tall spine. And then taking a big inhale, sweeping our arms up towards the sky. Exhaling, hands to heart center. I hope you have a blessed week. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday.